Shankaro Vandhe Shraddha Vishwasarupino Yavyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram Vande Deva Umapatim Suragurum Vande Jagat Karanam Vande Pannagabhushanam Mrigadharam Vande Pashunam Patim Vande Surya Shashankavainayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhaktajanashrayam Cha Varadham Vande Shivam Shankaram. Hari Om. Om Namah Shivaya and welcome to Hinduism in Focus. We are speaking on the glories of the worship of Lord Shiva, of Shiva concept itself, Shiva Tattva, the principle, and we are talking about Mahashivratri because this month of February the world over is going to celebrate and observe with great gaiety and all types of celebration in honor of this great night of Shiva, as it were. And we feel that it will be only fitting, in fact most fitting, ultimately fitting, for us to speak on the glories of Bhagwan Shiva and to show from greater and deeper perspectives that it is not ordinary as we may think, it is not mundane as we may see the worship being done, but really and truly in the midst of all of this, the essence, the meaning of life, of our journey here, our ultimate goal hereafter, they all get revealed in this grand celebration of Shivraatri and Shiva itself. Yesterday we tried to analyze the Mahamrityunjaya mantra to show that our real joy, our ultimate peace, our ultimate bliss, ananda, and our ultimate goal, as it were, that it all requires us to conquer first the limitations of this cycle of birth and death, to extricate ourselves completely from this cycle and to attain to the supreme state that is called Shiva. And until then, we come and go. And Mahamrityunjaya mantra, one Mrityunjaya, Shiva is called Mrityunjaya, meaning the conqueror of death, he who is not subject to death. And our real self, we are not subject to death. Through colonization and all of whatever has happened, we have come to want to think that, death is the end of life, and then we have to rest in peace until some great event will take place on the last day and all of that. But in the Hindu view and in accordance to our Shastra, it's a whole different process. It's one that is exciting and one that gives you a perspective that you recognize how great the works have been, the discovery and the realizations have been by our foreparents and the great saints and sages of yore. And so Mahamrityunjaya mantra and the whole idea helps us to know that we have to conquer our real selves, conquer death, and become deathless, immortal, as it were. And that immortality, that essence that we are, that glory and power that makes us up, is what we call Shiva. So in Yajurveda, there is a mantra which we call a prayer to Shiva, and that is also popular. It talks about all the qualities of that supreme state, that supreme self that is Shiva. It talks about these qualities have now later become names of Shiva, like Shiva itself become a name. It was never a name to say per se. Shankara becomes a name. Was never a name. Shambhu becomes a name. These are all descriptive words. These are adjectives that seek to whatever way to express some of the glories or some aspect of or attributes of that supreme state that is Shiva. They have now become names, and some names have been given forms over time, but the core has not changed. It cannot change. It will not change, because Shiva is changeless. The mantra goes like this: Nama Sambhavaya cha Mayo Bhavaya cha Nama Shankaraya cha Mayaskaraya cha Nama Shivaya cha Shivataraya cha. That Nama Sambhavaya cha, homage to he who is the source of bliss. Source of bliss. So, to Shambhu, the one who is the source of bliss. Mayo Bhavaya cha Nama Shankaraya cha, the one who is the source of bliss and well-being. To the beneficent one, to the bestower of happiness, Shiva. Mayaskaraya cha Nama Shivaya cha Shivataraya cha. And to the good, the exceedingly good, Shivataraya cha, the exceedingly good. To that one, homage. To that one, worship. So the nature of what Shiva is, that is who or what we are, our own inner self, our own nature, as it were, is of such. These have now become names of Shiva. So Shiva is called Shiva. Shiva is called Shambhu. Shiva is called Shankara, like this. But here it comes. So Nama Sambhavaya cha, homage and worship to the source of bliss. And we talk about this when we say Satchidananda. Ananda means bliss. And that this Sat, which is truth, and this Chid, which is conscious, and this Ananda, which is bliss, they mean the same thing at some level. So the source of that truth, the source of that bliss, the source of that consciousness is what we now call, what we now refer to as Shiva, Shambhu, the source of well-being. Salutations to that source. Which other source you will salute? And this helps us to understand life, as it were. I know that is why in the Linga worship, Shiva, who has no name, no form, but he is the source of plenitude. He is the source of existence, the source of bliss, the source of well-being, as the mantra said. So all things that value to us, we bring them and we worship. We do Abhishek 24 hours on that Linga. It is a return of all that which belongs to him, to the source. Everything good returns to the source. From that source we have come. That source is maintaining us. And to that source we have to deposit and return everything. So it's the Abhishek is an expression of that journey of returning to eternal self. And nothing else matters. Because whether we appreciate that or not, we welcome that or not, it is bound to happen. Because that source which is sustaining us, that source from which we have come, in which we are dwelling, and ultimately which we will go, that source is working itself with or without us as a sign of true identification. We come to do Abhishek, we come to worship, we come to adore that source. It's a source of well-being. Nama Sambhavaya cha Mayo Bhavaya cha, source of bliss. Nama Shankaraya cha, to the beneficent one. Beneficent one, from which all benefit comes. Look, Ravan, greatest devotee of Lord Shiva. The same Ravan of the Ramayana. So devoted, he wrote mantras and prayers and offer commentaries on the scriptures in praises of Lord Shiva. He lived, as they have said in the episode, he lived Mount Kailash with Shiva on it. He offered his entire being to Shiva and he received everything. Shiva is most compassionate. Shiva gives everything. Whatever you want, you take. Like this. Most beneficent. Why? Why this is so? Because all that which is given, they're mundane, they will come and they will, after time, even Ravan had to give up back everything. But you ask for Shiva, the source of all the things. What then is the purpose of the things? They are needed for the smooth function of the society, of the world. Beyond that, they have no need. Each of us need to work, each of us need to take care of a family, each of us need to eat, everything. But beyond that, there is nothing else that the food can do or the wealth can do. Beyond that, they only have a limited role. And if you recognize that and you take as is given, you live accordingly, you have your saving, but you're seeking the source from which it comes. You're not seeking the things, you're seeking the source. Now if you get the source, which is greater, the source of everything or everything? Just think about it. So Shiva is the source, and we mistakenly seek everything without seeking the source. And what happened? We get everything, but we never find peace in everything. We never find satisfaction. We never find true success. We never find true embrace in the things. But we got everything. That is why the scripture says, seek the source and everything will be there. So if you got everything, you recognize the source, you know how to approach it. Like look, in Mahabharata we know a popular story. When Arjuna and Duryodhana went before the war to Krishna, Duryodhana says he went there for Krishna's army and he got it. No one could defeat Krishna's army. So Duryodhana says, oh, I will win this battle because this is Krishna's army. All his best soldiers and weaponry and everything he gets. So he's happy. Arjuna says, but Lord, I don't want anything. I just want you. You alone I want. Krishna said, but look, I will not fight. What can I do? Arjuna says, no Lord, you just be with me, be with me. Be my charioteer. You drive me. You direct me. That's all. And like this, Arjuna took Krishna and Duryodhana took Krishna's army. The rest is history. We know what happened. Duryodhana lost. He was defeated. So this is our problem. We have to seek the source. Once we seek the source, we can manage everything that comes from the source. And ultimately, when everything decay and finish, we are left with the source. When the battle was over, Arjuna is left with Krishna. So that beneficent one is Shiva, the source of bliss and well-being. Mayaskaraya cha namah shivaya cha shivataraya cha, to the bestower of happiness, to the good one, the exceedingly good one Shiva, salutations, salutations and worship. Tomorrow when we meet, we pick up from here. Until then, may grace of Sada Shiva be with all of us. Om Namah Shivaya.